Good evening, Greg here. Burning both ends. Burning on the back end of the week. It is Friday, the 10th of August, 10:51 p.m. Pacific. And right now, I'm just lighting up this nonprofit widget donation thing that I'm getting involved in. And I know I'm saying it in a horrible way. I will formally announce the whole thing in the near future. And so I had a training this morning with Peter. So we trained on, kind of the business and the back. I saw the whole back end. So thank you, Peter. I appreciate the training. That was awesome. And thank you, Abena, for setting it up. And the persistence with the conference call situation, right? But all I can say about this opportunity is I'm so excited about it. It has such impact, and I saw the whole back end today, and it's very impressive. I'm just like, the coolest thing about this opportunity, and what's really speaking to me about why committing to it makes so much sense, is everything I see with it, I'm impressed with. There's depth. It's simple. You can just see the level of thought and effort put in to what they put together. It's just very impressive. And so, as far as really beginning this effort, I have one more little piece to put in place, and I was talking about it this morning on my Ents post, which is linked down in the description, by the way. I'm looking for some kind of virtual assistant to help me, because this is like what I'm saying is I'm going to block off some time, during the day to make some phone calls. And then, of course, let's say I make 10, and let's say I talk to 5 people and leave 5 messages. So obviously those people, well, not obviously, but most likely those people will call me back. Excuse me. And it'll most likely be outside of, this kind of blocked off window of time. And so I'll be playing like phone tag with everybody. And so what I need like a virtual assistant or an assistant to receive those phone calls and then book them, either a phone call or an in-person when my next available block of time is. And so I'm checking out this thing called fin.com, fin.com. And so where I learned about this was, I'm a big fan of Ents. And so the founder of Ents, this gentleman named Ikram, was one of the founders of Venmo, and his co-founder is named Cortina, and Cortina's new project is called Fin. And so it was very impressive looking. I just signed up. They have quite the backlog, so it's going to be a few weeks, but very excited to see what this can do. And I also, I want to research, some others just in case, for some reason they can't handle it, because it seems like they're growing really fast. That's what the email said, and that they're hiring to accommodate and whatnot. So we will see. But I am so psyched to try it. And and the vision is, think of how awesome this is going to be when I get this working, whether it's with Fin or some other company. Is I make the phone calls, I speak to some people, some I leave messages, and all of a sudden, the next couple of days, I just see meetings popping up in those next, scheduled, side work spots, slots of time. I just see meetings pop up, and invitations on the calendar, and then just rocking and rolling. I think that's gonna be very effective. And the other thing that that I noticed today is so many different things have been kind of pointing me at this opportunity. Very, like the universe is talking to me. It's rather interesting. So the way I see finding leads for this nonprofit widget is pretty much identical to how I found leads during the I-Corps program. It's phenomenal. During the I-Corps program, our application, essentially pointed toward the semiconductor industry. I don't really have any contacts there, but through a lot of patience, a lot of persistence, and a lot of asking, we were able to get in, and we were able to get into some of these big companies. Most of them we went in through, many different ways, like with 3 or 4 different people trying to help us find the right. But eventually, we found the right people. So it wasn't that difficult. It took time. Some of it took 6 weeks. Like, for example, one of our biggest meetings was one of the very last interviews that we had. So it took 7 weeks to get in. But infinite game style, that's totally worth it, right? So it's amazing how that I-Corps program, which is like completely different than what this, it's just the overlap is amazing. and I'm just really excited, to get involved in it. I see like a real upside on many different levels. I can be of service. I mean, one of the things that Peter said is there's one company that uses his product, and essentially the bottom line is the product. And you can't make guarantees, but what the data shows is that it essentially doubles the amount of donations for a nonprofit, for online donations. I mean, it's huge. That's substantial. And even the fee gets a little bit lower because, you pay a fee, no matter what kind of online thing you have, right? You pay some fee for the credit card or PayPal or what have you. And it's and oh yeah, and what he was telling me, lost my train of thought there, like the dude. And so what he was telling me is that there's one company that I don't know exactly what they do, but essentially it has to do with like providing water for malnourished kids in like the third world. And he said the owner of that business was like, because I'm using your product, Peter, like, and I'm doubling the amount of donations, like an extra like 1,500 kids are going to have water. I'm not sure if that was per month or per year, but regardless, that is a huge impact. And I'm excited for stories like that. I'm excited to hear things that, because I reached out and made a couple phone calls and hustled a bit, some kids or some people that need help, more of them can get help. I just think that's just so cool, and so powerful and just so fulfilling, and that's why this is so exciting to me. And the more I see of it, the more I'm just super impressed with what Peter and his team have been working on. It is so clear that they put so much work into this, and we're at the point now where we're ready to roll it out into the world, and it's making a big hit. So I'm very excited. So this is really part of my my journey. So my journey so far since May, has been kind of speaking my story out loud, seeing who gets excited. There's no doubt that when Peter and I first got together, we told our stories and we definitely synced, and it was awesome. And so and everything since then has just been very optimistic and very powerful and very welcoming and very synergistic. Just continuing that chemistry, and so I'm just really excited to get involved in this opportunity. And so here this is very interesting. We are seeing kind of me now, I guess, personally pivot into this like hardcore commitment with this widget. And then as far as the work goes, I'm very excited about these two projects that I'm starting. And so in like the next 2 years of my life is looking like very exciting opportunities. I'm going to sharpen my my startup game, my kind of sales game, my entrepreneurial game with Peter, and I'm going to sharpen up like my project management and my people management game with work. And I mean, so 2 years from now, so August 10th, 2020 is going to be a really cool day. So we'll have an extra cool post that day. So yeah, this is my journey, and I'm just so excited. So I will wrap there. So check out the description. A lot of cool links down there, especially my morning ants. The beat in the background is G Money, Smiles Your Ego. I write these beats. I've been drumming for a while. Check it out on SoundCloud. There's a link down below. And we'll wrap there. So y'all get some sleep. It just clicked to 11 o'clock p.m. Pacific. So get some sleep. Wake up tomorrow. Get ahead in the weekend. Now's a great time. People are chilling out. It's time to get ahead. Because someone else is getting ahead right now. Someone else that's competing with you and with me. So, get some rest, light it up tomorrow morning or tomorrow. Inspire folks, do great things, and I will ent you in the morning.